Hi everyone. I woke up this morning with a thought on my mind from a video that I watched last night. I heard someone say that consciousness is the awareness of being aware. And something I always say is awareness is the key to ascension because that when we're aware, then we're present in this moment right now. And so how we do that as a human is becoming aware of our thoughts. Self mastery is in the place that's in between the thought and the reaction. That's where we gain control of the energy to be able to shift within it to make it however we'd like. And so when we get between the thought and the reaction, that's when we kind of make time stand still and we're able to shift. And it takes practice to do that. And then after a while, just like anything else, after we practice it, we start doing it without even realizing we're doing it until we have the awareness. And then we know that we're there. Those are the aha moments, the epiphanies of DNA explosions within the body and the mind. That's the great download of information that we receive whenever we reach another level within our ascension. And to be able to amplify that, all we have to do is get between our thoughts. As a human, the thoughts that are swirling around that create worry and panic and anxiety, those are the thoughts that the human needs to grab a hold of that energy rather than pushing it away and going, okay, like let's deal with it. Let's talk about it right now. And in doing that, we learn to let go of fear of ourselves. We learn to get control of what we think is anxiety, which is really just a heightened emotional surge that is attached to a human emotion that comes from the subconscious. Because things would not come into our mind from our humanistic self if it wasn't something that those are the things that we need to look at. And so by being aware, by grabbing a hold of those surges of energy, to ground it, to embrace it, to purge, is how we ascend. And the more we clear out the human thoughts, we're able to then learn to decipher and receive confirmation of channeled thoughts from other people, our guides, things like that. And that's who we really are. We tap into the true frequency of the parallel of the heightened state of consciousness within ourselves in creation, because, we're not in this alone, and the universe always has our back and is there waiting to assist whenever we're ready to tap into that higher vibration. Because the lower realms, the animalistic self, that just perpetuates that behavior. And that the same thing is evolved around thought. If your thoughts don't make you feel good, but you keep thinking them, you're perpetuating that. You're projecting that energy for the universe to give it back to you. And so if we change the way that we want to live our lives, all we have to do is change our thought process. Because the mind, the brain, is a really powerful, amazing thing. And when we realize that our thoughts are energy and get stored in the body and we send that signal out, we learn that it's really not about being like the human emotional stuff. It becomes about self-mastery. It becomes about tapping into the frequency of creation, because the lower realms, the outside social conditioning, the things that we see on the television, the things that we hear on the radio that create a feeling like that is artificial. And the way to change that vibration is to start within ourselves so that we can set a different frequency, because what we think we pay attention to, therefore we attract. That is how simplistically sophisticated we are. And it's all energy. It's not really the human, it's the energy. We just get to be a human to experience it. Consciousness, the higher realms of creation. You have it, I have it, she has it, he has it, we all have it. The trees have it, the water has it, the air we breathe. All of those things go together. And without each other and those things, we won't be here. And so what we need to do in this moment is just appreciate that we're here. Everything that happens on the outside of us is just something that's going on somewhere else. And yes, we can have a heart and care and want to change those things. But if we're not focusing on ourselves also at the same time, how are we going to change anything? To me, it's best to shut it all out and start with a clean slate. Well, the slate that's just within the self. Because if we keep trying to tackle the outside stuff, and we're not paying attention to the inside stuff, that's why the world is chaotic. So if we just go, hey, let's all focus on ourselves, ground that energy, then that's the energy that we start to see and we attract and change the people around us. Like we literally set a frequency just by walking down the street. And we never know what that frequency will do for another human who will then pay it forward. Little things like instead of saying thank you, I say I appreciate you. That is magic. It makes people feel uncomfortable a lot of the time, but then they always smile. I mean, I think us humans, we change who we are because other people are uncomfortable with our light. Try walking down the street with your head, or through the store or wherever you are, with your head held high and a smile on your face, and watch how everyone just moves out of the way. Because it's unusual to see that kind of light, and you are that beacon. I am that beacon. Humans are amazing like that. We get to set a frequency on a level that no other species on this planet does.